My name is Margarethoran. I'm reading A Return Ticket, a snippet from Memoirs. Some years back, on a spring morning, my friend Helen and I left Portavad by car with her dad Jimmy and a neighbour. The men were going to the fair in Belmullet. We planned to spend a few hours by the sea. In Ballina town we turned off for Belmullet. The scene became rugged and bleak. The road wound its way through bogland. It was narrow and bumpy with a deep drop into the bog on either side. A few miles from Belmullet we got stuck behind a white lorry. Overtaking was risky, but Jimmy ventured forward. The space was narrow. I held my breath. As we edged past the tail of the lorry, it moved towards us. Helen reached out to sound the horn, but there was no sound. It was out of action. The white lorry had no wing mirror. The driver was oblivious of our movements. Like the action of a movie in slow motion, we were pushed to the margin of the road. I knew we were in jeopardy. I held my head in my hands, feeling sure that my neck would be broken. I said out loud, "Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph," and then all hell broke loose. Every tool in the boot rattled. I do not know how many times we somersaulted, but after what seemed like an eternity, a strange stillness settled. I experienced a sense of peace which I'd never known before. I expected to wake up dead. Filled with wonder, I waited to see who was on the other side ready to greet me. My familiar world had disappeared for a timeless span, until in the distance I heard a voice saying, "Are you all right? Can you get out?" I opened my eyes and realised that the car was upside down in the bog. Helen and her dad, looking like ghosts, stood beside the car. They had crawled out through the shattered windscreen. True to my nature, I reacted very slowly. No panic, no fuss. I recognised Helen's voice saying, "Hurry, the car could catch fire." The neighbour managed to turn off the engine, and I crawled out of the wreck. The bewildered neighbour followed. Jimmy had an eye to business. He managed to open the boot, took out a stick for the fare, and he and the neighbour scrambled up the steep boggy bank and onto the road. They hitched a lift and went off to the fair as if nothing unusual had happened. Helen and I made our way to the local Mercy convent. In true Mercy fashion, we were resuscitated by hot tea and toast. I was offered a comfortable bed, which I gladly accepted, because I was very shaken. I had been in hospital only a week beforehand. As I lay flat, I became aware of a poster on the bedroom wall. I found myself reading the words over and over again. "If I take the wings of the dawn and fly to the ends of the sea, even there your hand will lead me, your right hand will hold me fast." The words were from Psalm 138. As I realised their impact, my whole being was filled with gratitude. A few days later, the Peugeot was written off. At another fair at a later date, the driver of the white lorry heard of the drama which went on unknown to him. On Christmas Day last year, Jimmy passed peacefully to the other side and did not return. I was very aware that I had been given a return ticket at the time of the accident. Now his ticket was one way only. May he rest in the peace which was always his gift in life.